Hello, I'm Bishop John, Bishop of Salford, and I'm pleased to be able to speak to you today. What very strange times we're in. They're very difficult, aren't they? Who would have thought even a couple of weeks ago of all the restrictions that are laid upon us, for good reason? Who would have thought we wouldn't be able to travel from our houses, even get to our workplaces, that we'd have difficulty in even thinking of meeting up with family and friends or going to a restaurant for a meal? Things are very different, and we've got to learn to live with those conditions for a good few weeks. That means that we've got to be church in a rather different way as well, that we've got to learn to live our faith in a different way. Do you remember in the Gospels, there's that Pharisee that comes to Jesus and says, "Lord, what's the most important commandment of the law?" And Jesus says, the most important commandment is, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul and strength, and your neighbour as yourself. And that's what we must live today. We've got to think first and foremost about how we love God and love neighbour in very unfamiliar circumstances. How are we going to love our neighbour when we're so restricted in ourselves and our movements? Well, we love them by making sure that we don't put them into danger by carrying the virus around with us and infecting other people, particularly those who are the more vulnerable and who have medical conditions. But we can certainly make contact with people. We can be phoning them, emailing them, making sure they're all right. We might be able to do some shopping for those who really cannot get out of their house at all. And we can certainly pray for people. We can be in union with them spiritually by placing them in God's hands in a very troubling and worrying time, particularly for those who feel very vulnerable at this time. Let's see the challenge of this time, and let's rise to the challenge of making sure that we're trying to love God in all that we do and trying to love our neighbours as ourselves by creating that sense of communion and community, even though we are restricted from actually being with people. God bless you all in these days. Keep safe and well.